The moves that the Pittsburgh Steelers have made recently are leaving fans in complete disbelief, with many unsure of how to process the latest developments. If you've been following the offseason closely, you know just how quickly the tides can turn in the NFL. So, be sure to subscribe and stay updated as things continue to unfold. One of the most talked about storylines this offseason revolves around veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins, who's been a prime trade target for several teams. The Cleveland Browns have long been considered the frontrunners in the race to land Cousins, but there's another team that had been quietly lurking in the background: the Pittsburgh Steelers. For weeks, the Steelers were viewed as a potential dark horse candidate in the Cousins sweepstakes. However, it seems that this potential trade destination is quickly fading away. According to a recent report from James Palmer of Bleacher Report, the Steelers are no longer likely to be in the market for Cousins. In a video posted on April 2nd, Palmer explained that while Pittsburgh did show interest early on, the team's pursuit of Cousins has lost momentum. The Steelers made initial inquiries, but the Falcons' head coach, Arthur Smith, who still has strong connections within the organization, was able to gather insight into where things stand with Cousins. Smith was reportedly able to find out key information regarding Cousins' current performance and his outlook as a quarterback, which ultimately caused Pittsburgh to reassess its plans. Palmer went on to suggest that after gathering this information, the Steelers' interest in Cousins began to cool off. It's a decision that's raised eyebrows, as it's still unclear why Pittsburgh decided to take a step back. Sure, they recently brought back Mason Rudolph as a backup option, and their ongoing pursuit of Aaron Rodgers has made headlines. But despite all this, the Steelers have been unable to lock down a deal with Rodgers. This has left some fans and analysts, myself included, wondering if the Steelers might still consider Cousins as a fallback option, especially if their pursuit of Rodgers doesn't work out. The situation has become even more intriguing because the Steelers' interest in other top quarterbacks seems rather lukewarm. Reports indicate that the Steelers were not particularly interested in Russell Wilson, and this pattern appears to extend to Cousins as well. With Rodgers and Cousins being the two biggest names left in the quarterback market, it's surprising to see Pittsburgh not pushing harder for either player. The Falcons, on the other hand, have much higher hopes for trading Cousins. As of now, the Cleveland Browns remain the most likely landing spot for the veteran quarterback. Without the Browns stepping in, however, the Falcons might face a tough situation. Kirk Cousins could end up as the highest-paid backup quarterback in the NFL this upcoming season. That's certainly not a scenario the Falcons would prefer, but the situation continues to evolve as teams look for viable options. What makes this even more complicated is the fact that the Steelers are one of the few teams that genuinely need a starting quarterback, but they lack a top 10 draft pick to secure one in the upcoming draft, while other teams with high picks, like the Carolina Panthers or Indianapolis Colts, can target the young talent in the draft. Pittsburgh doesn't have that luxury. The Steelers would have to rely on veteran options like Cousins, Rodgers, or perhaps even others, but their options are dwindling fast. As the quarterback market continues to tighten, teams are being forced to make quick decisions. Some franchises, like the Browns, are clearly all in on their plan A, while others, like the Steelers, find themselves in a holding pattern, waiting to see how things shake out with Rodgers. If that deal doesn't happen, and if Cousins remains in limbo, it could leave Pittsburgh scrambling for a solution. While the Steelers' pursuit of a new quarterback may have appeared to be more open-ended just a few weeks ago, it now seems like their options are narrowing. If they continue to chase Rodgers and fail to land him, will Cousins remain an option, or will the Steelers turn to other alternatives? The drama surrounding this offseason isn't over by a long shot, and Kirk Cousins could very well become the centerpiece of a much larger NFL storyline. The waiting game is in full swing, and while fans of the Falcons, Steelers, and Browns, among others, anxiously await any news, one thing is clear: the quarterback market has never been more unpredictable. As the dust settles, some teams may find themselves holding big contracts without any takers, while others will be celebrating their new signal callers. Stay tuned. This offseason has plenty of twists and turns left to come.